Hey everyone, my name is Christian and I'm here to tell you about my experience using TTP to study for the GMAT Focus Edition. So first, a bit of a background about myself. I live in Lebanon and I studied industrial engineering at the American University of Beirut. After graduating, I went into strategy consulting and I've been doing that for about 2 years now. And I'm currently in the process of applying for MBAs to go in about a year or so. So regarding my first mock and my final score, my first mock exam was 605 and my final score on Thursday was 675. And I actually said the GMAT 2 years ago, but it was the old GMAT, not the Focus Edition. And I studied using another platform, it was in TTP. At the time I didn't get the score I want, it was 620. I was far off from my target, so I'm glad that now using TTP I was able to reach the target score that I need to apply for MBAs. So I started my preparation about 3.5 weeks before the exam, and I actually took 3 weeks off work to focus fully on studying, which I highly recommend if you're on a tight timeline. But of course, having said that, I suggest starting earlier if you can. You'll get more time to absorb the material, to solidify your understanding of the topics, and you'll be able to practice more, which helps a lot in increasing your score. I found TTP through talking to a few colleagues that actually went through the process and sat for the GMAT. Some friends recommended it as well. I also saw some very strong reviews online, whether on YouTube or on GMAT Club, and it convinced me to give it a shot. So I used the 5 days free trial, and honestly I instantly saw the value the course provides. So that's when I decided to go with it. Like after trying it for a few days, I said, okay, I'm gonna stick to that, and I took the 1 month membership study plan. I used TTP for about 3 weeks, and I left like 4 to 5 days to focus on practicing with the official GMAT mock exams that you can find on the official MBA website, mba.com. TTP helped me across Quant, verbal, and data insights. It helped me a lot in Quant because I was able to rebuild a lot of math concepts that I hadn't touched in years and I haven't seen in a while since college or high school. It made it easy to identify my weak areas, so you have the error log that helps you identify where you did wrong and where you should focus your studying so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. So the best TTP features would be one, the error log tool that I used to track my mistakes, and this was across Quant, verbal, and data insights. So this will help you really reinforce the learning, and it will ensure that the mistakes you make, you'll never make them again, and this will substantially improve your score on testing. I also appreciated the structured layout of the course. It was very easy to follow, since for every chapter you complete, you get targeted practice right away. So you can get some easy and some medium and hard tests for you to practice, which help you directly internalize the material you just went through. So you finish learning the material and then you can actually practice it. Now, about my study process with TTP, since I had limited time, I started by doing all the Quant chapters. I went through all the material, and after each chapter, I would do one easy, one medium, and one hard practice test. I wouldn't do more than that because at first I started doing all the easy, medium, and hard tests, but then I realized that if I do that, I won't have time for verbal and data insights. And so I did one of each, easy, medium, and hard by chapter. And then in areas where I felt that I was lacking, that maybe I needed more practice, I would do maybe 1 or 2 additional quizzes and making sure to log all my errors. So that was for Quant. Once Quant was done, I moved to verbal. Verbal, I started by doing one easy, one medium, and one hard practice test by chapter without going through the material. I only went to the material where I felt that I needed like more insights on the chapter, or where my quiz performance was low, and I felt that I could improve my score in one chapter or the other. So because of the tight timeline, this was more efficient in my case. But if you have the time to do it, I would recommend for you to go through the material and then the chapters to practice. I followed the same approach for the data insights. And in the final few days, I went through my error log, the entire error log, resolved previous mistakes, made sure that I understood how to avoid them on test day so that I don't make the same mistakes. And this is very, very important. You should really focus on understanding why you did this error or the other. This is why it's important to log it. And when solving, you'll be able to focus on the mistakes that you usually do. So, okay, usually I do a calculation mistake, so I should take my time when solving this problem. And this will help you increase your score. And then at the end, I practiced using the official GMAT exams. So my advice for other test takers would be to focus on quality over quantity, especially when you're short on time. Don't just solve problems for the sake of doing a high number of problems and without really understanding and grasping the concept behind it, and without understanding where you're doing mistakes. So focus on understanding the concepts really well and make each practice session count, and make each mistake count, so that when you never do it again. When you do one, you shouldn't repeat the same mistake. Also simulate the test day conditions as is. This is also a very important factor. So I would recommend that you go through all the practice exams on MBA.com, and you simulate test day as is, whether you're planning on taking it online or taking it in test centers. So try to simulate the same environment. You follow the instructions as is. Take the breaks only when you can take a break, when you're allowed to. Don't use your phone throughout the entirety of the exam, and this will help you get an understanding of where you're doing in terms of practice. So this will also help you when you go to the exam, be as calm as possible and be used to the process as much as possible.